Hi, my name is Isabelle Guis, and I'm a Commvault Chief Marketing Officer. For all of you, I'm a recovering engineer. That's where I started. So hopefully I'll be able to represent Commvault and more particularly our Metallic portfolio, as well as a big announcement we've made this week. You all seen a lot of blurring line between data protection and security. I'll be very clear for the ones who are watching and do not know Commvault. Hopefully everybody here do know us. We are a cloud data management company. We're not a security company. We don't do firewall. We don't do antivirus. However, data protection and data security are becoming more and more closer, and we do everything data and everything to protect it. And if it means adding more and more security feature, we've always done that. We always had built-in feature and honeypots and so forth. But now, because of this trend and the surge in ransomware, you've all seen this over the last year, we have doubled down on that. And why we done that? It's nice to recover the data. Actually, that's of course we did a quick survey with ESG that I'm sharing with you some of the latest findings. 72% are focusing, and what keeps them up at night among IT professionals is to recover post attack. But obviously, it's ideally not to have your data compromised before the attack. And so they all want to focus now on preventing the damage, on avoiding the data loss. However, when we ask them, are you ready? Well, only 12% of them felt they had the tool to be able to do so. And that's exactly where we come in. We of course have based our zero loss strategy based on the zero trust principle. I've been running a lot of what I call coffee talks with our customers. And I had one recently with customers who have suffered ransomware attack. And the goal was to share best practice, especially the one who, of course, recovered all their data, didn't have to pay ransom. What did they do differently? What we see, and the common theme is they all look at their entire data, and they all share the same dashboard between the security team and the data protection team. Dashboard and alerting and all of that. The second thing is they were really looking holistically at protecting their data, not one workload at a time, but across all their entire workload. And the third thing that makes them really different, and in a way, it's maybe thanks to COVID, that was a good thing, is when COVID happens, a lot of IT team had to digitalize their workflow. They're not in the same war room to decide, hey, you do this, I'll take care of that. So they had to script. The alert will go here, if this person does not answer after 2 minutes, you go to this one. And all of them had actually flow between the CISO and the CIO team, working together and sharing information as part of their process. And that's where our zero loss strategy came up with, is being able to provide an end-to-end visibility to everyone who looks at data, no matter what team they're in, making sure it's for the broadest workload protection possible. And finally, having a fast response, fast business response, thanks to a digitalized workflow. So with this, let me tell you a little bit more. When I say we've always done data, we do anything to protect data and some more. When you talk about Commvault, it's one platform for everything data. We've seen 5 big problems that occurs with data. First is, of course, the silo, the fragmentation is distributed everywhere. And that's what we serve under the intelligent data service that we call data protection. Why we say intelligent is because we factor the whole environment, and also we have tons of AI and machine learning working on it. The second has always been data security, and I want to highlight is built in. If you do a data security that's just, to quote my CEO, bolt on, it's really not the same. And the way we code the microservices architecture we have that the team will go into more details are really building this in. Second, we see more and more increase in needs for privacy regulation, as you know, so compliance and governance is the next focus. And then we've talked about Kubernetes over launch. We talk about different teams. We need data in a different way. That's what we call data transformation, moving the data where people use it in the form factor that they need. And data insight is because most of the IT team we've talked to, they've seen their data is going up, but they haven't seen their budget or the IT staff going up, and they do need to automate more. And so the data insight is which data is being consumed, where, how, so you can automate more. All of this comes with our platform. Now you can consume this platform, or we can deliver it in many ways. It could be software on-prem that the customer actually owns as a subscription and manage. It could be integrated with an appliance, so you have all in one, or it could be as a service. That's the one we're going to double click on today with Metallic. Metallic is our as a service offering. And then, of course, we see more and more demand for partner manage. So it's not even Commvault managing it for a customer, but our partners. Now, going back to the zero loss strategy and the end-to-end visibility, that comes because for all the services on one platform, you have one user interface. No matter if it's SaaS, no matter if it's software, no matter if it's on an appliance. The second thing we say is the broadest workload coverage, and that's really recognized by the industry. We support a broad variety from endpoints, from VM, from type of environment and storage, from on-prem to hybrid cloud and multi-cloud. And really what we're seeing is, as I say, data protection and data security having stronger links, which means when something happens, sending alert to both the security and the data protection team. So with this is how we deliver the services under this platform. I mentioned you can have an integrated appliance. Well, we have different type of storage, hyperscale or distributed storage. We have multiple modules on our software subscription that I mentioned you can have on-prem. And then Metallic, which is our SaaS offering. And today we're going to double click on Metallic Threatwise, which we launched this week and is based on the acquisition of TrapX that we made. So Metallic, to focus on that layer of our portfolio, and as I said, you know, security has been built in, and we did this even with Metallic. For a little bit of history, in case you don't really remember, Metallic is a concept we had 3 years ago, but we really launched the product 2 years ago. And in those past 2 years, we have taken a multi-layered approach. First of all, we launched what we used to call MCSS, which is now called Metallic Recovery Reserve. And that's the ability to have all your data backed up in the cloud and air-gapped. And it could be data from your on-prem, could be data from cloud. The second things we did, because we know Active Directory is the weakest link, I would say this is where most of the attacks happened. We offered it as part of the Metallic for free when it comes to Azure and Microsoft Active Directory backup. The third layer, Commvault has a strong history and a strong presence in the SLED market, government, education. You know, with a ransomware attack, the government has put even more stringent constraints on the vendors they're going to use, even the vendor that you use, and the software you use in your own solution. Well, Metallic is the only FedRAMP solution available on the market right now for data management as a service. And we're very proud of that. It's 421, I think, requirements that we had to check, but it's definitely in our plan advantage and beneficial to our customers. The other thing, as I mentioned, you can have, you know, us managing it for you, but a lot of customers, especially when it comes to security, may not have, depending on their size, all the skill set or the scale. Their IT team is just not as big, and so they rely a lot on managed security service provider. We launched a program as well, and as I say, all of this in the span of 2 years. We launched a program to onboard them and make our offering part of their portfolio. More recently, we launched what we call Security IQ, which think of it as a set of dashboard and tools that will help customers see all their data, back to the visibility, understanding their security posture in one single place, take action from this, and cover insights to be more proactive, obviously, in preventing attack. Then, in February 2022, so just 6 months ago, a little bit shy, a little bit more of that, we acquired TrapX. And TrapX was really for us, it was a cyber deception technology, and it was a way to be more proactive. Because everything we describe right now has been how we've been reacting to a ransomware attack and how teams have been working together. But you want to go a step further and actually proactively prevent those ones. So that's for a quick overview. So now, why did we acquire TrapX? Obviously, they have a fantastic technology, very unique. Lightweight architecture will allow this technology to be deployed in many industries. We had a couple of customer stories here. One with Land O'Lakes, we deployed actually Threatwise now, rebranded Threatwise as of this week, on their factory floor, to be able actually to make sure everything was secure. Again, with an additional level of security, they were able to have more information on who was accessing what, with which access rights, and even the plant factory manager was able to have access to this information. Didn't have to be part of the security team, call the headquarters, and take action immediately to restrain what he thought was oversharing rights. Procter & Gamble, their main concern was lateral movement, where somebody finds your weakest link and then goes after your crown jewel and your most precious data. Same thing after deploying Threatwise. I think a few months later, just shy of a quarter, they had a ransomware attack they were able to detect and proactively contained. So with this in mind, we launched this week Metallic Threatwise. Metallic Threatwise, of course, is based on the TrapX technology, and that's our integration just shy of 6 months later after the acquisition of the TrapX technology into our platform and offering Metallic. And this is where really data protection and data security can converge. It's based on decoy. We can mimic real assets. So, bad actor can be tricked by them, and then you can expose the threat and start getting protection even before your data is compromised, with the goal, of course, to minimize business interruption. So that's kind of the background about why we're here today, why data security is so core to what we do, and I would say a little bit of history on Metallic.
So in the prior slide, you mentioned something called differentiated data security. And I assume that's a TrapX solution. On the title, it said differentiated
data security.
What is differentiated data security?
So if you remember, we had the 5 services: data protection, data security. These are areas we invest and innovate, and that will be our data security service, and is differentiated from a technology perspective in the way we've implemented it and being more proactive. The difference is what I mentioned, instead of just trying to recover after the attack happens or just to detect it early on to prevent too much data to be compromised, we're actually proactively detecting it, and it's merged with data protection. And the technology, which Indu is going to walk you through, is also what makes us very different.
Okay.
So it's a mix of coupling it with the rest of the portfolio, the way it's implemented, and the proactiveness, not just reactive.